Hey, Transmath class, we are going to work on the notes for the next section, and in here we're going to be dividing some mixed numbers. And so to review some of our skills, it's going to ask us to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions, and then vice versa, improper to mixed. So if you remember, when we have mixed, it's just going to be 5 times 4 plus 3, so that would be 23 fourths. And now we're kind of mixing it up here. Now we're going to go the other way. This is where we have to divide. 11 divided by 4. 4 goes into 11 twice, which is 8, and you get a remainder of 3. So you get 2 3/4. Number 3, we have 26 divided by 9. And 9 goes in there just twice, which is 18. And I get a remainder of 8, so that's 2 8/9. Number 4, this is going the other direction. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23. So 23 thirds. And number 5, we have to divide again. 73 divided by 8, and 8 goes into 73 9 times. 9 times 8 is 72, remainder of 1. So that's 9 1/8. Number 6. It's a mixed number, so 8 times 9 is 72, plus 1 is 73. So I'm going to get 73 over 9. And on number 7, 10 times 3 is 30, plus 2 is 32. 32 over 3. And number 8, we have to divide. 34 divided by 8. 8 goes into 34 4 times. And so that's 32. We get a remainder of 2. So that is 4 2/8, which we can divide this to reduce by 2, and my final answer would be 4 1/4. Okay, a couple other reviews. We're adding or subtracting or multiplying, it looks like. So on number 1, we need to multiply by 2 to get a common denominator on the fraction part. So that's going to be 1 1/4 plus 2 2/4. Which is going to be 3 3/4. Number 2, again, we need a common denominator. Let's multiply by 2, and we're going to get 3 2/4 minus 2 1/4, which would be 1 1/4. And for number 3, again, we have to convert these to improper. So 2 times 2 plus 1 would be 5 over 2. And then we've got 1 times 4 plus 1 would be 5 over 4. And now we're going to multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. And 2 times 4 is 8. So we have 25 divided by 8. 8 goes into 25 3 times, which is 24. Remainder of 1 would be 3 1/8. 3 1/8 there. This was 1 1/4, and this was 3 3/4. Okay, so there's some review problems. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is work on dividing mixed numbers. Okay, and we've done dividing fractions already. 5/6 divided by 1/6. This is more of a visual, which is basically saying, if I take 5/6 and divide it by 1/6 parts, how many do I get? And I'd get 5. But what we've done is multiply and flip the second fraction. So we multiply by flipping that second one over, and then here I could just cross out those 6's, and I get 5 over 1, which is 5. Okay, so what we need to do on these problems is convert these into improper fractions first. And so 4 times 4 plus 3, that would be 19 fourths, and we're dividing it by 1/3, and that means 19 fourths times 3 over 1, and 19 times 3 is going to be 57. 4 times 1 is 4, and now we need to simplify that by dividing. 57 divided by 4. Let's see, that would be 1. 1 times 4 is 4. And I get 17. 4 goes into 17 4 times. 16 with the remainder of 1. So I get 14 1/4. Okay. All right, next one. So 3 and 2/3. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so I get 11 thirds divided by, and this would be 2 times 2 plus 1 would be 5 halves, and so that means 11 thirds times 2/5, so that's going to be 22 over 15, and 22 divided by 15, 15 only goes in there once, and I get a remainder of 7. So I'm going to get 1 and 7/15 for that one. Alright, so that's what they're going to have us practicing here. So in this first one, 3 1/2, I go 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1 is 7, so that's 7 over 2, divided by 1 times 9 is 9, plus 1 is 10, 10 over 9. Now I need to multiply by the reciprocal or flip it. 9 times 7 is 63, and 2 times 10 is 20. Now let's divide that out. 63 divided by 20. 20 is going to go into 63 3 times, so that would be 60 with a remainder of 3. So I get 3 and 3/20 for my answer. Okay. Next one, 2 1/3 goes to 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 7 thirds divided by 1 1/4 would be 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so that would be 5/4, and then I'm going to change this to multiplying and flip the second fraction. Now I can multiply. 7 times 4 is 28, 3 times 5 is 15, and then 28 divided by 15. 15 only goes in there once, and so that's going to give me a remainder of 13. So I get 1 and 13/15 for that one. And number 3, 3 times 3 plus 1, that would be 10 thirds divided by 2 times 5 plus 2 would be 12/5, and we're going to rewrite that. 10 thirds times 5/12, and 10 times 5 is 50, and 3 times 12 is 36. I'm going to simplify this because I know they can divide by 2, and so then I get 25 over 18, and let's divide this out. 25 divided by 18, 18 goes in there once, and I get a remainder of 7. So I get 1 and 7/18. Okay, this last section on these rotations, I'll show them to you, but when we get to the test, I'll help you out with these because we don't have protractors, but I'll try to help you visualize this. So if we rotate something 90 degrees and it says clockwise. Now, if you think about a clock, right? If you have a clock, you know, the hands of a clock move this direction, right? They go rotate around in this way. Okay, so when we rotate something clockwise, that's the direction, and we want to think we're rotating it like this, like a clock would move. Okay? All right. So with this shape here, think about, I always think of something like if there was a box laying flat like this and I want to tip it. If it's laying flat, 90 degrees means tip it straight up. Okay, so now what's going to happen is it's going to look like, how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 long. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put a dot right up there. Okay, so now it's going to be straight up like this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my shape now, if I've rotated it 90 degrees like this, that's 90 degree, so it went straight up. So it was laying flat, rotated at 90 degrees like a clock would move that direction. This time we want to go 45 degrees counterclockwise. So now we're going to kind of lift it the other directions and come up like this, but only half that amount. So now on this one, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this one, but it would be something like this, okay? So we're going to have our shape looking something like this. So we went up 45 degrees, okay? 45 degrees like that. and 120 counterclockwise. Again, counterclockwise means the opposite direction, like what I did here, opposite direction of a clock. Okay, so 120 degrees. Well, 90 would be straight up. I have to go another 30 degrees past that, so it's going to be something like this. And then I've got the shape that's going to look like that. I know I didn't quite get that correct to size. Let's try that. And again, I just want you to have a visual of what they're talking about here. So this would be our, so if it was 90 degrees, it would be standing straight up. But if it's 120, it's going to go a little bit past that. All right, so that is it for this set of notes.